While we're standing, in our African tradition, we normally don't proceed unless we check with an elder. We need to find out who is as close or as oldest in the house, and I know Dr. Audrey Trotter's mother is here. She don't look like she's as old as she is, but is anybody older than 85 in the room? We got one back there? What is your name, ma'am? Nah. Miss Jones, can we have permission to proceed? You may be seated. Again, we want to welcome you to the graduation. You look so great today. Those of you who have programs, we're going to try to follow it as close to the T as possible. At this particular time, the other person who will be helping to move the program with me would be Dr. Audrey Trotter, and we're going to ask that Pastor Sylvester Rutledge would come and give us our invocational prayer.
Good morning. Y'all sound like y'all dead. Good morning. Oh, that's more like it. We're going to make this transition. It's a quick one and a fast one. And when we get to be 92 or 100, you'll understand it better by and by. Yes, transition is it's when we pray, we go from earth to heaven. Our King taught us, when you pray, say, Our Father. And then you make the quick transition, which are in heaven. If you want to have a relationship with God and when you pray, you got to leave earth and have a relationship with him who controls everything. So let us pray. Oh God, our Father, the Creator of heaven and earth, and have surpassed us in the intelligent design. We come today to thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for giving us a purpose. Then we come to pray for those who have experienced the coming to the close of this graduation, but moving on to a higher standard. Pray for their children. Then we pray for all of their supporters, especially the teachers. We know that all knowledge and wisdom come from thee. Now we pray that the graduates will have a greater hope. We know that without you, we can't do nothing. Help our people to realize that we can't trust religion. Help us to realize that we can't trust churches. Help us to realize that we cannot trust ourselves. But your word says, trust in the Lord. And in all our ways, acknowledge you. And you will direct our path. Pray that there'll be greater things going with our children, with our nation. For we love God. And we love the brotherhood. And we obey the King of Kings, who has given us hope. We pass from mortality into immortality. Guide us and keep us. And your will be done in earth as it is in heaven. And all of God's people said,
thank you so very, very, very much. Mr. Greg Hodge.
Good morning, family. Y'all way too calm. Good morning, family. Good morning. We come standing on tradition. First, giving honor to God, known by many names throughout the course of human history, but as Pastor Rutherford said, the creator of all the universe, and we say amen. Amen. We say Ashe. We come this morning because we know the order of things. First, you give honor to God, Pastor. Second, in our tradition, because we are here as the African-American graduation exercise, so we can be unapologetically black this morning. Ashe? Is that all right? And that's not to say that we don't love all of humanity, but we come on tradition. Our people have taught us many things, and those of us who grew up in the South, if you grew up in church in the South, you knew the speech you had to give before you could say anything. You had to say first, giving honor to God, to the pastor, to the mothers of the church, to the deacons, to the trustee board, and then you get to say what you're going to say. Well, that's an African tradition. Because when we get together, we ask permission to speak from our elders. It's called Heshima. Everybody say Heshima. We give honor to God. And then the thing that the Europeans drove out of us is a sense of our culture around our ancestors. Because, see, you're not here based on your own work alone. You're here because somebody did something to sacrifice for you. Amen? So first, we want to give a big congratulations to the class of 2016. Y'all make some noise for them. Ashe. And we know that the class of 2016 stands on the shoulders of the class of 1916 and 1816 and 1716. If you go all the way back, you standing on the shoulders of your African ancestors. They taught us in the Nile Valley. These are the same people that built pyramids. You can't build pyramids without high mathematics, geometry, architecture, material sciences. And I'm sure that on the way to work on the pyramid, somebody had to get their hair done. That somebody had to have their locks looking good. When you see those images of those pharaohs, those are dreadlocks. Manicured dreadlocks, Ashe? Because those are African people. Don't let anybody ever tell you that your ancestors who built those pyramids are not Africans. The last time I checked, the geography class I had, Africa still contained Egypt, Ashe? So this morning, we're going to take our whole history into account. Our ancestors, they said, pour water. They said, pour libation for your mothers and fathers who rest in the valley of the dead. God will witness your actions and accept them. Do this for your parents, and your children will do it for you. A libation is an opportunity to remember, to reflect, and renew. We remember the accomplishments of our ancestors like Malcolm X, and we say, Ashe. We remember the accomplishments of our ancestors like Harriet Tubman, and we say, Ashe. If you came through the cosmetology program, you need to remember the accomplishments of Madam C.J. Walker. Say, Ashe. If you came through anything doing the agriculture, you got to remember George Washington Carver and say, Ashe. But even before that, if you are interested in medical sciences in the nursing program, you got to remember Imhotep and say, Ashe. If you are interested in stonework, you got to remember the Shona people from Zimbabwe and say, Ashe. We're going to bring it all the way home, though. If you remember how to work hard, you knew that it took some resilience to get to where you were, to get to where you are today. Just remember your great-grandmama and them. Down in Mississippi and Arkansas and Texas, Louisiana and Bakersfield, or Senegal or Ghana, wherever your folks are from, the Caribbean, wherever they're from, they work hard so you could be here today, and we say, Ashe. We pour this libation for our activists and our freedom fighters like little Bobby Hutton, who was from West Oakland, who was the youngest person to join the Panther Party, and one of the first to lay down his life so that you could be here today with a little bit of freedom. We say, Ashe. We pour a libation for our brothers and sisters like Nat Turner and Denmark Vesey and Gabriel Prosser, who were unapologetically about their freedom. We say, Ashe. We pour a libation today for educators like Marcus Foster and Ida Jackson, who educated children and young people here in this city, and we say, Ashe. And now I just want you to call the name of somebody in your family, some great-grandmother or uncle or auntie or somebody who did something so you could be here. Just call the names out. Ashe. Call the names out. Call the names out. Call the names out. Call the names out. And we finish this libation, and we hope that our ancestors are pleased with everything that we have done and will do, that we are connected to our ancestors in that invisible realm, as well as our children who are yet to be born. That whatever you do, do something with your children's children in mind, which means that you would do it with excellence, which means that you would do it with love, which means that you would do it with a sense of identity and purpose and heritage. And we say Ashe 3 times, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Ashe.
We start. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over away with the tears that been water. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. Verse 3, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
You may be seated. Thank you so much. At this time, we would like to call up Dr. Siri Brown, who will talk to us about the purpose of this occasion.
Thank you, thank you. Woo! 2016 is a good year. Woo! Look at the class of 2016. What a great day today is. What a great occasion to come together. And when we come together as African, people of African descent, African American, Black American, Africans from the continent, from the diaspora, we come together because it's important for us to remember the greatness of which we come from as a people. Am I lying or telling the truth? While you were in Peralta, I hope you got to study a bit about who we are. We come from a mighty race, a glorious history, a fact-based history, where we stand on thousands and thousands and thousands of years of human ingenuity, of African genius, of monuments and philosophy and sculptures and art and humanity and humility. We come from a great people, from a great land. And when we were snatched up and brought here to these shores, we brought all the beauty and the grace and the culture and the power with us. And it's here in this room today, embodied in the graduates of 2016. Maya Angelou said, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. 2016, you rose to the occasion. I know that you have a story to tell about what it took for you to get here to this day. I know some of you are single parents, 1, 2, 3, 4 children. I know some of you had to take math, statistics. You had to write 5, 10, 12-page papers. I know everyone in here is a praying people because I saw you praying before that math test. I saw you praying, standing in front of the financial aid line. I saw you praying and always knowing that you would make it to this day, that you would graduate. And you should be very proud of yourselves. Everyone here today, your family, your friends, the faculty, the staff, the administration, they're here today because we are very proud of you. We know what it took for you to get this far. Ooh, I'm choking up because I'm looking at some of y'all. And I know that you have been through a hard path. Some of you it took 2 years, some 3 years, some 4 years, some 5 years. It doesn't matter. You made it. And you make our people look good. You make our ancestors smile. And all the way, God has been with you. When you felt fear, when you felt that you couldn't make it, when you felt that, oh, I'm not going to do it, I just want to drop out, you stayed fast and made it to graduation. And we are here today to celebrate you. The theme of this year's 8th annual African and African American graduation is Black Minds Matter. Black futures matter, and Black lives matter. Class of 2016, you matter. Give yourselves a round of applause. So today, don't take today lightly. Don't take today lightly. Know that you are here with all kinds of love and support. Know that when people pulled against you, that you made it. Know that we are here honoring and celebrating you, that this is your day. 2016 is your year, and we are grateful that you have made it to this point, and we know that your degree is not just for you. We know that your degree is for your family, it's for our community. We know that your education is going to advance our people, our race. We know that your education is not just for even just today, it's for your grandchildren that you don't even have yet. It's for your great-grandchildren. By getting your degree, you have uplifted generations of your family. It's no small feat, and we celebrate you, and we congratulate you. I want to introduce you to, if you have not met, to our Chancellor, Dr. Joel Laguerre. Am I supposed to do that? And he's new to us, and he's already shown a great commitment to students and to success. As you're on your path, there are so many people behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, people you don't even see, that believe in the community colleges, that believe in Peralta, that believe in you. And our Chancellor just fits right into that, his passion and commitment to education, to upliftment. So please give a warm welcome to the Chancellor of the Peralta Community Colleges, Dr. Joel Laguerre.
So whoever prepares the program, we need to do an evaluation of that person, because the Chancellor should never speak after Siri. Dr. Brown has said, I think, pretty much what I was going to say. So I guess sometimes I sing. Maybe I could sing for the graduates. But what a great presentation by Dr. Siri Brown. If you didn't have a chance to take a class with her, we hope that as you move on to your four-year institution, or if you go to work, at least take one online, because you are going to be dazzled by this great professor we have. And it shows that we still have heroes and sheroes with us. We still have great African Americans who are doing great things, and Dr. Brown is definitely one of them. So. I wanted to get a little bit close to you so I can share with you something. Of 100 African Americans who enter college, of 100 who enter college, 20 graduate. Of 100, 20 graduate. So what it means for you, think about it. Out of 100 people who entered Peralta, you are one of 20 who graduated. Now, it is both exciting for you, and I think your parents, your loved ones, people who supported you, should be really proud of what you have done. And we certainly know that you are very happy with the support that they gave you, their food that you ate, the money that you borrowed that you have not returned yet. They expect that out of you are among 20 of 100, so they know that someday you're going to pay back. The sadness is that there are about 80 who didn't make it. So what is your responsibility and my responsibility to those 80? It's up to us to make sure that we reach out and help them get to where they need to be. You are, by all measure, by all the measures that we can put forth, you are survivors, you are heroes, you are achievers, and you are definitely leaders of our community. And we are very proud of you. When you receive your diploma one of these days, you ain't going to get it, I mean, you get some today, but it won't be the diploma yet. When you get it, it will say that you have this diploma for all the rights that you are entitled to, but it will also say all the responsibilities, all the responsibilities that you have. There are many responsibilities that you have. Number one, to make us proud. To not embarrass BCC, COA, Laney, or Merit, or the district. So that's one. That's pretty selfish, but we don't want you to embarrass us. We know that we've taught you really well, so we expect you to perform really well. When you go to your university, if you're going to transfer, you are supposed to be better. Better than the students who started at UC Berkeley, if you're going to UC Berkeley, because we taught you much better than UC Berkeley would. If you're going to work, we prepared you really well for your work. Just have the confidence that you are well prepared. A lot of times, the difference between can and can't is just one letter. It's the T. That's all that it is. So we have given you the confidence that you can indeed achieve, so we expect that of you. And finally, you are on your way up. You are on your way up the stairs. Even if you don't see the rest of the stairs yet, Dr. King said, faith is to take the first step even when you don't see the rest of the staircase. So you are on your way up. While you are on your way up, you are going to run into many of the 80% who didn't make it. All right? Some of them never had a chance to go to Peralta at all. Think about your high school graduating class. Or your neighbors. So those of you who graduated a long time ago, you know many people who never made it. You have a responsibility on your way up to not despise, to not disdain those who didn't make it, but rather to give them a hand and bring them along with you any way that you can. It may mean that somebody in your neighborhood who should be in college, you go convince them that they should enroll in college right away. We have plenty of space, by the way, to take more students. So please have them stop. But I want to congratulate you. Dr. King said, if you can fly, fly. And some of you, you're straight A people, you flew. He said, if you can run, run. So that's the B people, you ran. If you can walk, walk. Those are my C people. And by all means, even if you have to crawl, move. And that's what you did, and congratulations to you. a good way to keep your job if you're a president or a chancellor, you're supposed to introduce your trustees, and I forgot to do that. So I want to introduce Trustee Meredith Brown. We have Trustee Linda Handy with us. And we have on stage Dr. Joy Blake, president of COA. And we have several administrators from the colleges and perhaps from the district. If they would please stand so that we can recognize all of them. And then several faculty members as well in the audience. Will you please stand all around to be recognized? Those are the many people who made sure that you were part of the 20% and not the 80%. Thank you.
We want to thank our Chancellor for giving us some information and some guidance. I wanted to let you all know that basically this would not happen unless the Chancellor worked with us. And so we want to thank him for hitting the ground running as a new Chancellor. And he has placed so much emphasis on ethnic power. And that's the reason why we're here. So we have an award we would like to give to him. Siri, could you read it for us? And we just want to thank our Chancellor because we belong to him. So this is the reason why it's here.
Chancellor Laguerre, we welcome you to Peralta, and we're grateful and glad that you're here. The award says, honoring your vision, leadership, and dedication to the Peralta colleges and the African American graduation.
You know, sometimes they say that you get, well, as a chancellor, there are over 1,000 decisions that are made daily on my behalf, and I could be fired for any of them, and I have no idea they've been made on my behalf. So I appreciate the award because you just never know what will happen, although we try very hard to be as good as we can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Laguerre. I want all of you to know that the African American graduation each year is supported by a chancellor, every president of every college in the district, and many of the other sponsors that you'll see on the back of the program as well. Otherwise, we would not be at our 8th year of this celebration. So let's give them a hand. Now, before we get to you, we always honor some people who've worked very hard over the years in our district, and we've come to call those our Pioneer Awards. We have 2 Pioneer Awards this year, and we have 1 faculty member that we would like you to join us in honoring in memoriam. First of all, I'd like to call up Carlos McLean from Merritt College. If you'll look in your program, you'll see. Come on up. Anita, I'd like for you to come up here and talk about Carlos. Come on, Anita. Look at his bio and your program. And Carlos retired in December of 2015. And he's going to say a few words, but I want Anita Black, because she's been through thick and thin. The 3 of us actually have in many ways, but she has longer. Would you talk about Carlos briefly for a moment, please? And then we'll have a few remarks from Mr. McLean.
Good morning, and congratulations, graduates. Carlos and I have known each other for well over 30-something years. We both entered this district at Laney College, and we got to know each other while at Laney, both as he as counselor, me as a faculty member. We both basically became managers, deans, around the same time. We both transferred up to Merit at the same time. So we've known each other for a while. The other thing is that both Carlos and I have had in common, and it's just been an inertness that we've had. It's just an inner thing, and that was serving students. Carlos as a counselor and EOPS director, and myself as a college professor in business and in CIS. And I think that extended also over into serving students as administrators. Both of us had an opportunity to be vice presidents. Carlos, of course, on the student support services side, student services. I as instruction right before I retired. So I don't want to read his bio, but you know when someone has your back, I can't explain it. You know when you have each other's back, you can pick up the phone, you give each other warnings. I think that's the relationship that we've had, along with other things. I know I don't have all this time, but I can go on and on. But this is so well deserved. I believe he's going to come back after he sits out his 180 days, as I did. We just like what we do, okay? We just like what we do. And as retirees, we'll do whatever we can to promote and support you and you accomplishing your goals. So if oh, yeah, but see, you all want me to go through the bio. Okay. The one thing that he did do that he must be commended for, of course, is the Maximum Achievement Program, which is a program that uplifts African American males, and I also believe our Latino brothers as well, men of color. And that will continue, I believe, with the Sankofa Project at Merit. And I think it's even expanded even further at some of the other colleges. It's called something else, but it's very much supported by our chancellor. And our chancellor supports it to the degree that he's put resources behind it so it could be developed at each of the campuses. But the person that started it all as the Maximum Achievement Program was Carlos. So is that sufficient, ladies? So without further ado, I'd like to present this well-deserved recognition to Carlos McLean, my longtime friend.
Good morning. We love you too. First of all, let me tell you how humbled I am to be acknowledged like this. I have entered a career that I had not planned on entering. I was raised by both of my parents with two brothers. We all graduated from college. I think that's a feat. I'm married, and I have 3 children, and all of them have graduated from college. That's something. And what's even more important is that as I have gone through this journey, I have had my family to say, just go ahead and do what you need to do. And so I'm always honored to be able to stand before anyone and say, this is where my strength came. And I stand on many shoulders. But I think what's most important today is that I have the opportunity to work with you. I have the opportunity to work with so many students. And what's even more important is that I worked with students who were told they could not make it, who were told, oh, you should probably find something else to do. I've worked with students who have come out of the penal system, out of welfare. I've worked with students who have come off the streets, who have been homeless. And in all of this, when they were ready to give up, it's like, no, it doesn't work. Not with me. I had a colleague who told me once, every student has the right to fail. I lost it. And I said, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I did. And as I look out, and as I've looked out over these years, and I've had the contact with so many, many students, and I've seen them not only graduate from here, but go on and transfer, and graduate from four-year institutions, and graduate with degrees that are masters, and those who are working on doctorates. So I knew that it was possible. I know that it is possible. And I'm honored to have been able to do it here in Peralta. This was my choice. My choice was to work here in Peralta. My choice was to move from San Francisco, where I was born and raised, and it was all familiar. It was my choice to come here. It was my choice at that time to work with a whole lot of black folks who nobody had belief in. And guess what? I was right. So I stand before you today. I've retired, and as Anita said, I've waited my days. I'll be back part-time, but what's more important, I am so proud and I'm so honored that all of you are sitting here. Your heads are held up high. You have accomplished one step. And as you go through your journey and you hit walls, and trust me, you will hit some walls that will probably feel that it will knock you down. Stand strong. Know who you are. Know whose shoulders you stand on. And never give up. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you.
I am honored to have my president at College of Alameda. I'm going to ask her to introduce our next honoree, Ms. Toni Cook. At this time, y'all know how to give yourselves some kudos, so I'm going to ask my president.
You have to lower this or get a stool, something. So it's with great pleasure that I'd like to bring up Dean Toni Cook to the podium. Here, come on, Toni. When I was interviewing for the position at College of Alameda and I had finished the public forum, Toni came up to me and held my hand and said, I'm praying that God bring you to College of Alameda. And so he answers her prayers. So whenever I'm getting in trouble or something's happening, I go over to Toni's office and I'm like, Toni, pray for me. But Toni is a very wise woman. If you look in the program and you look at all of her accomplishments, that's just a glimpse of who she is as a human being, as a person, and it definitely does not reflect her commitment to our students and the community. I like to say I go in her office in the evening and bathe myself in her wisdom because she's such a wise woman and caring woman. There's a famous quote that I always use, and it's risk more than others think is safe, care more than others think is wise, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible. And so who we have before you today is Dean Toni Cook, a pioneer who risks more, cares more, dreams more, and expects more for our students. So at this point, I'd like to honor Toni, and I'd like all of you to give her a round of applause for all of her good work and commitment.
I am, when Dr. Trotter called me and said, you're supposed to send me a picture and a resume, she said, yeah, that's what he said. And she said, well, I said, well, you don't have to say, just tell him I'm a little black woman going down the street. I tell people I'm reminded that I have a friend named John George. Those of us who are my age remember John George. He was the first African American to be on the board of supervisors here in Alameda County. And he wore this clown around his neck. And I said, John, why you got that clown around your neck? And he said, that's a reminder that without you, there is no me. And I say to my students, without you, there is no me. And in the words of my president, I am unabashedly black. And I say that to African Americans, and I refer to them as young scholars, middle-aged scholars, because that's what I expect, because I know you're part of that 20%. I'm humbled to be here. That is God's blessing. I get to serve you. That he let me be someplace where I could hug. You'd be amazed at what's gone on in my office. I've seen the tears. I've hugged the moms. I've held the hands of the young men who did not know where they were going to eat. I've hugged the babies who were there to see their moms and grandpas, be examples to them. So to you who are graduating, thank you so much for allowing me to be in a place to be of service to you. Thank you.
Come on, let's give her another round of applause. That's my dean, that's my boss. Have one more award to give. Listen, one of our most cherished people, we started this 8 years ago. First of all, I want to thank Trustee Handy because she was one of the first people to sign off to say, yes, we need to do this. But we have a person who will be leaving us as well for the last time. And I want to thank Dr. Audrey Trotter for actually keeping this ship on the ocean. Now, sometimes you don't think a ship can sink on the ocean, but it can if you got these many people you have to deal with and more. And I picked out an award. Can you give me the award that we have for you while she gets up and stands? She did not know this, but listen, we needed somebody that was going to fuss all the time, dot every I but cross every T.
Oh my goodness.
And we wanted her to never forget what she's done to make this happen. She is one of the greatest people I know who knows how to get things done. And so when we saw this award, as much as it cost, we said it was worth it.
Oh my goodness.
So for our love to you, we love you.
Oh my God. I'm not going to take up your time except to say thank you so much. You know, the time that I tear up here at this graduation every year is when this lady plays that song, I never would have made it. And I'm waiting for that song because I wouldn't have made it without you. I'm not going to say anything except thank you so much. I'm retiring this summer after 36 years in community colleges. My goal in retirement is no matter where you go in this country, you never know who you're going to see. I started in K through 12. By the time I got to the community college, those students were coming through my door then. So I know when I leave this time, I'll see you out in the workplace, someplace. I'm kind of speechless, which is rare for me. But so I'm just going to say thank you so much, and I'll miss all of you, and maybe I can come back and help next year with this graduation. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. My mother is here with me today from Seattle, Washington. My mother, 84 years old, right here. And I do have to say, my mother and I talk daily. So she has heard about Peralta for 17 years every day. Thank you, Mom. Would you stand, please? I want to get a picture with my mother. And then we can call on up Ramona. Good morning. Good morning, class of 2016. We are so proud of all of you. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I'm Ramona Butler, and I'm here representing Berkeley City College. And I ask for your blessings, Ms. Jones, if I can continue. Thank you. I'm here to introduce one of our student speakers this morning. Her name is Brianna Rogers. Brianna is a very dynamic woman, a student, and mother of a beautiful daughter. She is the Associated Student President at BCC and our PCCD Student Trustee. She has attended the Congressional Black Caucus and is on her way to China in June to represent the Peralta Community College District. Brianna has made it her mission at Berkeley City College to make sure that students are informed. She has made it her mission to reach out and assist fellow students in whatever they may need. If a student can't log on to Passport or has trouble communicating with financial aid, Brianna is right there to assist. I know at least 3 students.
Test one.
I just thought I would add that in there. So I could go on and on and on, but I think I'll let her speak for herself. Without further ado, Brianna Rogers.
I normally don't read from a prompt, but I changed things around last minute. I want to first start by saying congratulations to us all. We've made it to the first finish line for many of us, and for that we should all be very proud of ourselves. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much, Ramona Butler, for that warm introduction. Thank you. As Ramona said, my name is Brianna Rogers, and I wanted to first thank our family and our friends, our professors, administrators, counselors, college president, Chancellor Laguerre, the Board of Trustees. For some of us, we thank our children and our grandchildren as well. On behalf of the graduating class, we appreciate you all. Thank you, Dr. Van Hook, and to the rest of the committee for making sure that we had a beautiful graduation today. We're here today to celebrate our accomplishments. While many of us have different career goals, there's quite a bit that we do have in common. Whether our goal was to complete a program, a CTE certificate, just get our IGETC credits to transfer to a 4-year university, an associate degree, or a combination of all of the above, we've completed what we set out to achieve, and that took commitment. Many times it took pulling a few all-nighters. Oftentimes it took us putting up a fight to ensure our success. And all of the time it took a focus like none other. Yesterday, like I said, I had a whole speech prepared where I shared who I was, where I wanted to go and the message I wanted to give to you all. But a dear friend of mine reminded me that I had not given reference to where I came from. And as challenging as it may have been, that it was also a part of my story and a very relevant part of my story indeed. So please allow me to share some truths with you today. Yes, as was mentioned, I am the president of ASBCC. I'm also the Peralta District Student Trustee, and it has been a great honor to serve you students. Yes, I'm graduating with honors. You see my cords. And yes, I was accepted into UC Berkeley. But I'm also a formerly incarcerated black woman who once faced several felonies and survived the rigor of sleeping night after night on a mat in solitary confinement for not having read the handbook on how to be an inmate. I'm also a mother who had to face the consequences of not being there while I was away. I'm a black woman who survived a 5-year felony probation with a 4-way search clause in Alameda County. Thank you. For those of you who know how our judicial system is set up, you know that that is a task in itself. I'm a girl who was raised by a father who had a firm disposition that garnered respect. No matter what it looked like, I was raised to deal with things until I couldn't deal with things anymore, which led me to becoming a former foster youth. And that lack of later led me to become a teenage mother. I am a woman who has to battle to stay happy, just as many of us black people do. I had buried my dreams into my dream box, and the key became lost under the success of so many people around me. Simply put, I was lost. I remember when I first enrolled at Berkeley City College, fall of 2014. My goal was just to pass the classes needed to get me back into SFSU to earn that degree that I once dropped the ball on. Being 15 years removed from school and carrying a few heavy bags, if you will, I was a bit out of touch with how to be a student. Needless to say, I had some research to do. My curiosity led me to the office of trio counselor Denise Jones. And after I met with Denise, I was ready to revive my educational journey. It was in Denise's office that I was able to finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I can't tell you what Denise said verbatim. I just knew that at that moment, I had the support I needed to go on and go after everything that I wanted for myself, which has always included obtaining my degrees. Not only have I finished in 4 semesters, but I'm very proud to have earned 3 associate degrees in communication studies and both sections of liberal arts. And I'm proudly transferring to UC Berkeley in the fall to study rhetoric and public policy. You are looking at a future congresswoman. Thank you. My involvement in leadership, both on campus and in my community, has given me the platform to empower other students, inspire non-believers, also known as my haters, and best of all, to create more leaders. What I've noticed is that sometimes it only takes that one person to lead the way, and surely others will follow. I've also learned that college isn't about getting a degree. It's not about a piece of paper, and history has proved that it's not a sure bet that's going to get us rich. College is about opportunity. It's about experience. Having a higher education encourages critical thinkers. It forces us to do our own research and to always question everything. Sure, you can make a great living if you play your cards right, but a lot of people miss opportunity because it shows up in overalls and it looks like hard work. As we complete this phase in our journeys, it's very important to remember that we must continue to put in the work, because if we don't, we will forever be victims of police terror and state violence. There will continue to be stories like that of Sandra Bland and Mike Brown, Oscar Grant, Rekiah Boyd, Ayanna Stanley Jones, Maya Hall, Freddie Gray, Kayla Moore, the list goes on. I remember being in Washington earlier this past September. I traveled with 8 other Peralta students to attend the annual legislative conference hosted by the Congressional Black Conference. Not only was it my first time in DC, it was my first time engaging with so many black members of Congress and other black world leaders and activists from Black Lives Matter. My experience in Washington was invaluable. It set a fire in the pit of my belly to be the change that I wanted to see in this world. And that is what I want to leave you all with today, a fire in the pit of your belly to be the change you want to see. Will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Yes. As Black community college graduates, we have already beaten half the odds. It's no secret that many of us are first-generational college students, low-income students, homeless students, many of us suffering from learning disabilities, whether it be physical or mental. We've been molested, raped, silenced. The Black community has not been dealt a great hand, yet we must continue to push through the microaggressions. We must continue to push through systematic racism, anti-Black misogyny. Come on, ladies. Queerphobia, their doubt, our fears, rejection. We must continue to break down barriers and educate ourselves politically because that's where we falter. Our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, all our folks are falling through the cracks. We need Black minds in the STEM fields combating health disparities which continue to persist in our communities. We need to address mental health challenges and addiction in our communities instead of being silenced by the stigma. I'm not just stating numbers. My grandmother lost 3 of her children due to addiction, one of whom happens to be my father. How many more loved ones do we need to lose? It starts with us. I'm almost done. It starts with you. It starts with me. You will cross many paths that will discourage you. Don't believe anyone who says you cannot. And don't allow the rigor of your journey to prevent you from finishing your course. There are too many young generations watching us, depending on us, to show them the way. Understand that it is our duty, and never allow the shame from your past to affect your blessings from your future. When the odds are against you, you must knock harder. You must knock on doors until your knuckles bleed. Doors will slam in your face, I guarantee it. You must pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go back and knock again. This is the only way that we will achieve our goals. Finally, you must send the elevator back down. It is our duty to make sure that we continue to inspire and encourage everyone beyond us, behind us, our children. Everyone's watching. Somebody did it for me. Denise Jones, when I was in your office, whatever you said that day did it for me. And I continue to finish my course. I want to congratulate you all, and thank you very much.
We have another student speaker representing Merritt College, and there's so many amazing students that come through the Peralta colleges, but Simone Telemac is finishing her AA degree in social and behavioral sciences. She is officially young, gifted, and Black, brilliant, and beautiful. She is accepted, and she's transferring to Cal State East Bay. Woo! To finish her bachelor's degree in psychology and women's studies. She has concern and compassion for those who don't have enough food to eat and works in a nonprofit helping to feed those without. Please give a warm welcome to Simone Telemac.
Yeah, thank you. Woo. Hi, Dad. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I was not expecting to be introduced by Dr. Brown. That is a huge honor. And also, Brianna shut it down. And an honor to speak with alongside you. And I just want to piggyback very quickly on something you said that struck me. I'm very into politics, and I find that that's something we stray away from in our community. And you can't. There's no way you're out of politics. Whether you're in it intentionally or not, you're involved. So read about things, vote, catch up on legislature and all that good stuff as well. I want to just start with thank you. I want to start with just acknowledging some people who are here today, my family. Thank you guys so much, my daughter. Oh. Excuse me. Oh, of course. If you know me, you know I'm a crier. Libra. Okay. I think I got it together. So one of the themes that have been circulating today is connectedness and family. And, I think that's so important. I grew up, my mom used to always say to us, you have the whole world to fight. Don't fight your family. And, oh, Miss Fleming. Sorry, everyone's mistaken. And, I feel very blessed that that concept and that theory resonated in my spirit at such a young age, because as I got older, the term family took on such a broad context. And, especially my black family, my women family, single mother family, my student community family. Don't fight your family. And that connectedness has totally inspired me to get my major in organizational psychology and women's studies with the goal of correcting these systems that aren't designed for us. There's a woman, Melanie Turvalon, brilliant woman, who has this theory of institutional accountability and realignment. And so I hope to one day do what I call restorative management, which is basically breaking down institutions, including educational institution, political, and create a place that is inclusive of people of color, of women, of LGBTQ, of people of all abilities, ages, the whole spectrum. Thank you. Thank you. But when we're out fighting, and many of us are advocates, activists, when you're out fighting, who's healing the healers? We have people out here. We have Brianna out on the troops. And when she has a bad day, who's healing her? Who's tending to her wound? And so for me, Merritt College really became this place of restoration. I got to reconvene with people I trusted, with students like me who came from the same background. And it was refreshing, and it was needed. And that being said, I will also say that Merritt College, it wasn't easy. I'm so thankful for Merritt, but within Peralta, I don't know if anyone else has experienced it, there was some disconnect and some issues. There were times where things weren't hard, whether we didn't have enough resources. It would sometimes feel like, can I do this? With the tools I have, is this enough? And I realized at some point, Simone, that's life. That's life. If you want it, you have to go for it. You're not going to have everything laid out on a silver platter. You're going to have to sacrifice for it. There was plenty of us. We didn't get 8 hours of sleep at night, and yet we did it. And so the lesson I learned was learning to take failure, kind of deal, but never accepting it. Always having plan B, plan C in your back pocket ready to go, and never giving up. And so this resilience that we've established here within the Peralta system, whatever school it is that you're coming from, take that with you. And don't stop at your bachelor's. I encourage you to get your master's. And if you feel like it, PhD. But don't stop. Don't stop at work. Don't stop climbing that ladder. Our kids shouldn't have to break these glass barriers. This shouldn't still be going on in 2016. So, and I think the chancellor shared the same statistic I was going to share earlier about that's okay, the 1 in 5. And I'm usually not a statistics person. I don't want to be in anybody's statistic. But that one, I was like, okay, I'll take it. That's fine. So 1 in 5, you guys, and we did it. We're one of those 1 in 5. That's huge. We should be so proud of ourselves. And whatever drive you have that has led you this far and that inspires you, don't let go of that. And when you're hitting these walls, just remember what it is, because it's meant for you. Whatever your purpose is, it's for you to do and accomplish. No one else can do it. So I just want to again, thank you guys. Thank you for your hearts. You guys, we did it. I'm so happy. I love you, Merritt, but I'm ready to go. Thank you.